Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items, stuff. I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. We may or may not be taking a trip to FLAVORTOWN, but we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm clearly in my back room today. Look, Peter Can Thunderbolt poster. Yay, Peter Can Thunderbolt rules. As well as we got a mask over there, some general stuff, all that good stuff. And on top of that, folks, I'm doing something else. What is it? I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing today? Well, folks, it's boom! It's my Sega Dreamcast shirt. One of my favorite kind of nerdy shirts. I love this. Got like the whole diagram of it and everything. If you're unfamiliar with the Sega Dreamcast, chances are you are a fair amount younger than me. Or maybe you just had more going on back in 1999. I don't know. But the Sega Dreamcast, it was a video game home console from the company Sega. And if you're, again, a lot younger than me, you might not know Sega for that. But yes, they used to make video game consoles, starting off with the SG-1000, then eventually making their way to the Master System, then the Genesis slash Mega Drive, then eventually had the add-ons like the Sega CD and the 32X, then the Sega Saturn, and then finally also there was like the Game Gear and the Sega Nomad and stuff. But finally, you had the swan song, which was the Sega Dreamcast. It was an excellent system. Unfortunately, it just was too little too late for Sega to really kind of save them in the home console market. Plus, the PS2 came out the next year and basically just curb stomped everything. And yeah, it just kind of was what it was. But Dreamcast will live on in the hearts and memories of gamers like me who are old enough to enjoy it. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? Like I said, kind of alluded to it. Because, folks, we're doing... Boom! It's Guy Fieri's FLAVORTOWN Sweet and Sour Pork Bowl. Because, yes. So, I'm going to the opposite end of the spectrum from my previous review. I just got through reviewing some Wellington bites that were endorsed by none other than Chef Ramsay. So, now we're doing the opposite end of things. We're doing Guy Fieri. How can you not look at this guy and just... I mean, you know, and he's got his whole image and everything. But yeah, I literally bought these and those at the same time. And I was like, sure, man, this is like a perfect, dual review kind of thing. So it's seasoned shredded pork and long grain rice in a sweet and sour sauce. And basically it's just vent, put it in the microwave for 4 minutes. There you go. No need for takeout, juicy tender pork and sweet pieces of pineapples to the top white rice with a perfect sweet and sour sauce. That super remains to be seen. Because what does it actually look like? Like that. It's not terribly impressive looking. But it's not about the looks, is it? Is it, Guy? Is it? Is Guy a chef? Or is he just a guy who likes food? Because I like food. You can put my name on fucking stuff. I'd be fine with that. Just pay me some money. But anyway, let's try to get a... The bowl is hot. Ha 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 ha! Do your thing. Ha 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 ha! Sure. So, yeah, alright. It does have pineapple on it. And folks, you all know I love pineapple. So let's kind of mush it around a little bit. Make it a little... I mean, it's pork. Could be good. It'll probably be at least okay. I mean, it's just a microwavable product, so... But how okay it'll be. Because I like rice, and I'll totally do microwavable rice stuff and everything. Some Uncle Ben's going every now and again. I will say, I wish you got more sauce. There's a barbecue sauce, and it's kind of, or maybe it's a sweet and sour, I guess. It's sticky, so it doesn't really spread that well over the rice. And the rice itself is just white rice, so you kind of want that stuff to spread. I'm not going to lie. Alright. It's probably about as sexy as we're going to get it. Let's get some rice, let's get some pineapple, let's get some pork. Get pineapple. Let's try it. I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible. I've had, I have to sort of keep this in context for, it's a microwavable item. Obviously I'm not expecting gourmet food. Um, I've had worse microwavable meals than this, to be sure. I've also had a fair amount better, and they didn't have the Guy Fieri branding on it, so I probably paid less. Um, I'll say this: I think the I think the pulled pork or shredded pork, whatever you want to call it. What did they call it? Shredded pork. I think that was a good decision because when you have it like shredded like that or sort of pulled, it's already tender. So less likelihood that it's not going to do well in the microwave. It's probably going to cook through properly and be easy enough to eat, and that definitely succeeds in that regard. The pineapple, I mean, you're putting it in the microwave. There's no way it's going to be proper pineapple tasting at that, but it does have some pineapple flavor still. It's got some sweetness to it. And honestly, it's probably the most flavorful thing. Definitely my biggest criticism is it needed more sauce. Like, a lot more. Probably about twice as much. I mean, to be fair, that's going to vary based on preference. But the whole thing is, again, this is just basic bitch microwavable, white rice. The rice is there as a filler. It's there to put in your stomach. The rice isn't there because it's particularly tasty. I mean, white rice can be used to great effect. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying in this context. It definitely tastes like a microwaved thing. But I can appreciate that it is trying to be a little bit more upscale. And I think in that regard, it kind of succeeds. It definitely has more going on than like a typical microwave thing. The pineapple's a nice touch. I mean, I'm a pineapple slut, so there you go. But I do appreciate that, and it does actually add in a nice burst of flavor when you get to it, even if it doesn't have like the full pineapple experience. The pork for what it is fine. It's not super flavorful. The Again, the biggest point of contention I have is there needed to be more sauce. Because I think if there had been more sauce to go around, it would have, for one thing, I think it just would have made it taste a little bit better overall, given a little bit something else. But on top of that, I think it would have helped. It would have helped out a lot with the rice because the rice is definitely far and away the weakest aspect. Yeah. Two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Um, I wish I remember how much I paid for it. Would I get it again? Maybe on occasion. Would I recommend it? Kinda. Again, the thing is, I'm the type of person, like, I like to keep shit real simple when it comes to, like, cooking. So I do microwave stuff. I do, simple shit I can do on the stove or in the oven. So, like, there is something to this for me, to be fair. But, again, I've definitely had better stuff, than this. But at the same time, I will give it a certain amount of credit where it's like, well, okay, it's got the pork, it's got the pineapple, which I like. There's a little something to it. So it's one of those things, it would never be like a go-to thing I would grab for my freezer. But maybe every once in a while, I might tag it in if I'm just like, sure. If I'm recommending it, I'm going to say firmly it depends on the price. Because again, I forget exactly what I paid for it. I'm guessing it probably costs more than like the equivalent of just, some. There's lots of like nice, rice, microwavable rice options. I'm guessing this costs more because you've got the branding thing. They're paying for Guy Fieri's image. I'm sure he had absolutely nothing to do with any of this. Um, if you can get something else that's equivalent for cheaper, get something else that's equivalent for cheaper. Like, there's no reason, unless you're a huge Guy Fieri fan, there's no particular reason to jump out and and get this. It's not horrible. It's fine. And I think if you're just like me, where you're a little bit lazy and you don't want to fuck with this stuff all the time, it's fine as an option. But there's definitely way better options out there that, again, probably cost less because, again, just the branding aspect. If you're buying this, you're buying it mostly for the Guy Fieri aspect, not because it's a particularly outstanding product. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Protect the rest of the week. Monumental rest of the month. Stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly FLAVORTOWN-tastic rest of your life. How do I get Guy Fieri's job? I want Guy Fieri's job. Like, when he retires, could he, like, bequeath it to me? I could go over there and, like, just drive me around to places. I'll eat shit and talk about it. I'd be fine with that. That's what I do now, except I drive myself. And I just pay for it all myself, so I don't make any money. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you can't do all the time. I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there with you in it. You know, I mean, I'm over here. I'm taking a few pot shots at Guy Fieri, as everybody does. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, he's probably a perfectly good dude. I have heard that, like, apparently his neighbors kind of hate him a little bit. But I could see that. You know, he seems like the type of guy who probably have, like, cookouts and stuff like that. That might, you know. But he's probably a nice enough guy. And hey, man, I can't begrudge the guy. Like I said, he goes around and he just checks out food places. That's pretty much what I do, just on a much smaller scale and, you know, with far less fan base. But I love y'all. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe there's a place that Guy Fieri has highlighted in one of his videos, because he's done quite a few, that, you know, you're like, hey, Brandon, you should totally check out this place, because Guy Fieri thought it was great, and blah, 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 blah. All right. You know, I have actually been to one of the places that Guy Fieri recommended. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. My friend Mark. Hi, Mark. He watches my videos sometimes. Really good dude. He actually went over there. He recommended it to me. And me and him went out. It was a burger place. We went out and we got some lunch. And it was very solid. At some point, maybe I'll go back to it, but I would have to look up and see what the name of it was. I don't remember anymore. But, yeah, feel free to comment that stuff, you know. Or, hey, maybe you like his stuff and you just want to go try out some of his stuff. Go do that, too. Again, you know, I might have a little bit of fun, but, you know, seems like a guy who knows what he's talking about, I guess. Anyway, bye.